Flowers can be very relaxing and therapeutic, a great way to spend your free time and welcome in spring, as long as you know what you're doing. So joining me this morning to share some tips for growing orchids is floral expert Carolyn Butcher with the Michigan Orchid Society show, which is this weekend.
Right, thank you.
This is a big deal because this has been going on for 61 years,
yes,
right?
61 years, and
wow.
It's really a very, very great show. It's one of Midwest America's biggest shows.
And what makes it so unique?
Well, it's all volunteers, and we actually convert a hall on Friday from a very nice blonde building to a lush rainforest.
Oh, wow.
And with over 1,000 blooming orchids.
That is impressive. That is impressive. And you brought some with us this morning, and
yes.
You have the very small, delicate varieties and the luscious, huge blooms here. How do you keep orchids alive? Because I've done the whole 2 ice cubes every week thing. I've trimmed them. They all die on me.
You need more water than 2 ice cubes.
Oh, yeah?
If you put ice cubes on your skin, the heat, when it melts, burns the roots of the orchids.
Oh.
And so you really want to water through the orchids. Orchids need 5 things. They need fertilizer, they need sun, they need wind, they need air movement, a lot from the rainforest. And one of the main things is fertilizer. That most people,
what do you fertilize them with?
Every fertilizer has 3 numbers. The first one is nitrogen, and a lot of people put nitrogen 30-10-10, which is one of the first numbers, and you'll have beautiful green plants. You'll never have a bloom.
Ooh.
So you want to have a balanced number, and I fertilize weekly, WEAKLY, half strength. Every week.
All right. How many orchids do you have in your home right now?
Well, I have about 12 or 13, but at one point in time I had 700 under lights in my basement.
You did?
Yes.
Okay, you know a little something about growing orchids. I have to give it to you. This weekend show, is it juried?
It is. The AOS trustees of the AOS does their judging on Saturday morning at 8 o'clock, and they'll be through about 11 o'clock. And then they take special ones in from 11 to 12 and give them AOS awards. And so you'll be able to tell by the time you get there at noon on Saturday, you'll be able to tell which are the very best of the best.
Oh, nice. And now tell us just the differentiation between these two. Obviously, the
They're
size is different.
all phalaenopsis,
okay.
But they are, and these orchids grow on trees. Orchids have the largest flower group there is. There's 30,000 species, and then we've hybridized hundreds of thousands after that. But they grow on trees, they're epiphytes, and then we take them off the tree and put them in a pot and say grow. And what most people do is overwater. Because every night they get wet with the dew and they dry off with the breeze in the morning.
Is it best to spray them?
They love to have, yes.
Okay.
But they do want water thoroughly through them.
But not like in the pocket of the leaf, is that true?
You don't want to leave it in there
okay.
overnight. Yeah, no, you don't want because they normally grow this way, so it would never go into that little pocket.
Oh, well, that makes sense.
But for reblooming, we were talking earlier.
All right, that's the thing. I can never get an orchid plant to rebloom. What's the key?
Well, when you finish blooming and it's all bloomed all the way out, what you do is you cut it off right here at this, right below where the first bloom is, not down here.
All right.
There's all these little nodules that are on the branch. And the one right below where you cut it will differentiate and make a branch.
It'll branch off.
It'll branch off. 4 months later, you should have buds and flowers, and that's when it's really exciting to rebloom.
But you
an
got to
orchid.
fertilize. You have to water properly,
yes,
but
right.
don't overwater.
Don't
Give it
overwater.
some sun.
You don't want them sitting in water. If they sit in water, the roots rot.
They're beautiful if you can keep them alive. And obviously, there are skills involved. Thank you so much, Carolyn, for
you're
sharing that
welcome.
with us. And again, the Michigan Orchid Show, or the Orchid Society Spring Show, is this March 28th and 29th this weekend. It's free to attend. More than 1,000 orchids will be there in Madison Heights. Thanks again, Carolyn, for sharing that with us. We really appreciate it. Have fun this weekend.
Thank you very much.
We're going to have some fun with cool clips right now.
Yes.
Keenan, Malcolm.
All right, thank you very much. You know, a lot of